The past months within Zanupf were the months of attacks from faction to faction. And there is a new tone which is actually coming within Zanupf. Let us take a look.
I support Zanupf. Now, I have my people here who are councillors from CCC in this church and MPs from the opposition party. No, when it comes to the hierarchy of the party, I support Mnangagwa. That's the end of the story. 100%. 100% loyal to the president. That's it. Listen to me. Andi tuki aripo nekuda kwa sata uya. You are not hearing what I'm saying. You understand it another language. Let me repeat. Usatuka aripo nekuda kwa sata uya. Nekuda usi utacha uya erega na utaui.
I will never any
I'm not a politician. And it took a foot and sat away. Nekuda kokutipa na aripo. Because in this world I
will never any day dishonor the one that is there. I will never any day dishonor the one that is there.
Be smart. Be smart. Aripo wacho ndiye akaisa asata arip auya.
The one that is there.
Saka nasata amudzinga asata auya uyu. Siyana inazo amuzu kuti vari kuirana kupi. Inakumba kwako unorara. All right.
The one that is.
So the message is clear. Eubert Angel is doing one thing which is very important. He is actually trying by all means possible to do the firefighting on behalf of Zanupf cadres. And we need to look at this. Remember, there was a lot of damage which came with the attacks on General Chiwenga. And what the faction of Mnangagwa realized is Tagwire is not ready to take over or to lead. And 2027 is too far. So what they've done is they want to buy more time. And how do they buy more time? They try to send a message. And what Eubert Angel did can be taken seriously. When you're looking at Tatenda Mavetera, I want to try to bring this onto the screen. If my network permits, I hope it will. Tatenda Mavetera is the one who shared this video, and she echoed the same as what Eubert Angel has been saying. What it means is, this is a direct message which carries a lot of influence, a lot of authority, which is directed to some of the supporters of the Mafidi dynasty. Remember, Tatenda is one of the people who went pachikomo pa National Heroes Acre vachimba chidana na cheramwena nguva yakwa. And that message was directly or was directed to the general and his supporters. Now, they are following this advice from Eubert Angel kuti andituke aripo nekuda kweachauya, andituke achauya nekuda kwearipo. What Eubert Angel is actually telling is he is loyal to whoever is there. If Chiwenga comes tomorrow, Eubert Angel will be loyal to him. If Mnangagwa continues, Eubert Angel will be loyal to him. If Tagwire comes, Eubert Angel will be loyal to him. But what we can take from this message is they are trying by all means possible to neutralize the escalation. Because what it means right now is you cannot tell what the other people can do. So the best way is to calm down, buy more time, re-strategize, and make sure that whatever you do it correctly. So right now, they are in the phase of cleaning up the mess. And this also includes removing each and everyone who is deemed to be a threat to the existence of Mafidi dynasty. So it's very, very interesting to see how everything is unfolding right here. Anzi, go home and sleep. And it seems as if people like Wanata Tender, they are actually taking heed of this message. They are acknowledging this advice from Eubert Angel. So critically looking at this whole story and this whole thing, what we deduce from this is very important, and I want you to listen very, very carefully. The Mafidi dynasty is failing. Their foot soldiers, the front runners, the Tagwireis, the Tungwararas, they've failed the litmus test. They've proved to be ineffective politically, and they'll be destroyed by the ZANU-PF elite. They'll be destroyed by the ZANU-PF bureaucracy. They won't stand it. So what it means is, this is a very, very strong signal of intervention which is coming from the office of Mnangagwa himself, and it becomes law. Everybody should follow that advice from the president, from top to bottom. Look at how people are offering apologies, coming from just simple mistakes they've been making. Look at how people like Onajo Charamba, they are coming out and say, I'm loyal to this flag, not to individuals. It can tell the kind of fear which is happening. So what we can take from this is a signal. There is an elite level damage control which is happening right now. But it cannot come from Mnangagwa himself. So it comes through the ambassador at large, Eubert Angel. And is somebody who is respected, and when he speaks sometimes, you know that is a man who he claimed that each and every Saturday he talks to Mnangagwa for a very long time. He does have a slot of access to the president. What it means is, when you hear him speaking, he is speaking authoritatively. So the conflict between Mnangagwa and Chiwenga, what is happening is, their conflict has reached a point where the fight is now threatening the existence of ZANU-PF and the stability of ZANU-PF. And they both cannot afford to lose ZANU-PF as a political party. But according to some people, some analysts, they believe that General Chiwenga is willing to let ZANU-PF go, but not to go with Mafidi dynasty. He is willing to let ZANU-PF collapse if it means having a new system altogether, than to be led in Nezhigananda. So what is happening is, this conflict, if left unchecked, it will spill into the current institutions which we have, the security establishment, the judiciary, the government itself. So especially the security sector, they are likely going to clash severely based on what is happening. Also, the Mafidi dynasty, they need time to establish fully their own people. Remember, there was a security change which happened, a major security shift which happened, where we have a new commander, defense forces, a new Zimbabwe National Army commander. What it means is, you also have new major generals who becomes the deputies and whatsoever. You have new faces coming in different positions and different portfolios because of the movements which happened. So you cannot risk to have an instability when you just changed everybody. You need to stamp down and clamp down some order and make sure that while your people are stamping down in terms of their authority, you are in absolute control. That is very important. So they've realized this, and they have to come up with a strategy to make sure that they control the situation. So when you're looking at the president, there are people very close to the president who sometimes are allowed to give some reasoning and some advice. And that advice won't be based on friendship. It will be, I know that you don't like me, or I know that you don't tell me what I like to hear. Tell me, what do you think about ABCD? And these are individuals who are going to tell the president, judging from the situation, judging from the reports, both security reports, intelligence reports, and whatsoever, the judgment from the nation itself, say. And these people would have told Mnangagwa that if the situation continues, it's now too dangerous to continue unchecked, especially the character, the behavior of the 4 EDs. They've become a danger and a national security threat to Zimbabwe. So that is the reason why you see these people, they are standing down. They're trying by all means possible to cool down. You have seen the attacks they've lowered. They are no longer the same as in the past few months. So what it means is, or what you can say is, what Eubert Angel said, it means General Chiwenga is still considered as a danger. So you cannot approach the danger zone without caution. So it's easy and it's wiser for people not to run too fast than what they can afford. They need to slow down and tone down and understand that one day Chiwenga might wake up and is the president. So they need to guarantee themselves some safety, because Mnangagwa can be in a safe place together with his family, like what happened to Mugabe. But his comrades, they are now in exile for a very long time, and Mzembe, who attempted to come back, is nowhere to be found. Was swallowed by the crocodiles and is in jail. So when you are attacking General Chiwenga continuously, you are openly risking yourself to some consequences. And because the party Zanupf, what has been observed is they treat General Chiwenga as a pillar to the stability of Zanupf. If General Chiwenga goes out of Zanupf unexpectedly, it will be disaster, 100%. So they need that that situation to be stabilized, because remember, he's not a mere politician. This is a military general. Whether in retirement or not, a soldier is a soldier. So, you know, the most aggressive supporters of Emmerson Mnangagwa failed to understand that no matter what, General Chiwenga might not be in power, changes might have happened, but he is continuously and still linked to the military legacy in Zimbabwe. So, when you are provoking him, you will continue to trigger institutional unease. You are continuously making some people agitated, and one day they might wake up and say, enough is enough. So that is the reason why Eubert Angel had to intervene to try and bring senses to some comrades within ZANU-PF. So Mnangagwa, you know, you will need to restrain his supporters. You need to rein in his supporters. Failure to do so, it will carry consequences. So that is something which is very, very important. Tagwire, in the past few episodes, just proved that he's not ready. He's not capable. And it's too early for Team Mafidi to actually try and assert full control of the political situation. Mnangagwa will have to find an alternative to the disaster called Tagwire. So this, I believe that this was a trial and error, and Tagwire failed the litmus test, and Tungwarara also cannot prove to be someone with the much needed strength or intelligence power to also wear the shoes Mnangagwa is wearing. So there is need for them to come up with someone, a force to reckon upon politically. So that is something which is very, very important. So what is happening is Mnangagwa is trying by all means possible to buy time and make sure that there is a coexistence. They do not want to enforce a lot of supremacy. They want to deal with General Chiwenga slowly but surely. So also there is a lot of fear which is happening. They are scared and afraid of the security cluster itself in its entirety. They don't trust them. That is the reason why they're trying by all means possible to continue buy loyalty of the commanders. So when you're looking at the gifts which they received recently, it's a way of trying to buy their loyalty. So it's something else. So when you're looking at this message from Eubert Angel, it's a very, very powerful message, a message which can't be ignored, and it shows where we are going as a nation, that we are now trading in the most dangerous path of Zimbabwean politics. And remember, one of the most shocking things is Chamisa simply announced his coming back this year end. And they're looking at it and say, okay, if we are divided like this and we manage to overcome General Chiwenga, what happens if he backs Chamisa? Out of anger, General Bawangoti, Chamisa ndiye akutopinda. What happens? That can cause a lot of instability within Zanupf as well as within the nation at large. So these people, they are actually scared, and they are running around to try and control the situation. So this is it. This is what we have been looking at. Eubert Angel said something very important, and for those who came late, please, you need to revisit the start of this video.